Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 10WT Friday, where every single week we teach you how to form the healthy habits that will transform your body and your life. At the 10-Week Transformation, we teach you a 5-step framework. Step number 1 is building your big. That's your why behind your fitness. Number 2 is set your success indicator. That's your X to Y by when. Number 3 is we help you identify your progress indicators, which are the weekly behaviors that we believe if you do them every single week, they'll get you to your goal. Number 4 is we help you plan your pills so that every single week you increase the likelihood that you're successful. And number 5, we help you set up your scoreboard so that we increase the stakes of the game that you're playing. Today, I'm really excited about this episode on how to plan out your week, 3 specific questions to ask yourself. The goal of the Best You podcast is to allow you to feel confident about what you need to do, why you need to do it, and how to do it in order to get closer and closer to your best you. When it comes to the framework that I just laid out for you, this kind of pertains to step number 4 of planning your pills. And when I say pills, I don't mean the pills that you take because you're not feeling well or anything like that. Pills is PILS, and it stands for the purpose is to increase the likelihood that you're successful. And the purpose of the pills is because oftentimes we say we're going to do something, but we don't actually do it. We know what we're supposed to do, but we fall short of actually doing it. And I've obsessed over the last 5 years about why is that? Why do we know what we're supposed to be doing, but we don't actually do it? Why do we fall short? And I always perceive this gap between what you say you're going to do and then what you actually do. And oftentimes people think that that gap is closed by simply having willpower or being disciplined. But I don't think that that's the entire part of the gap. I think that can be a little bit of it, but you know that you can't rely on motivation and willpower all the time and discipline and willpower all the time. But if you have a plan of setting yourself up for success, that helps you follow through when willpower and motivation and discipline are low. And so pills are all about how do you set yourself up for success each and every week. And for those of you guys who are in the middle of the 10-week transformation right now, I really want you to listen closely to this. And if you've done a 10-week transformation in the past and you're planning on doing one again, really pay close attention to this. And even if you're not doing a 10-week transformation, I really think you need to pay close attention to this and you'll get a lot of value from it, because this is a process that I do every single week so that at the beginning of each week, I have a high level of confidence that I'm going to follow through with the promises that I make to myself, that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And that is what integrity is. You know, there's a difference between honesty and integrity. Honesty is when your words match reality. It's when you see something and then you tell the truth. But integrity is when your reality matches your words. It's when you say something and then you do it. And that's, to me, being a person of alignment. And so the pills will help you be a person of alignment. They will help you be a person of integrity. And so here are 3 critical questions that you can ask yourself every single week in order to make sure that you set yourself up for success. Number 1 is, what could I do that would increase the likelihood that I do this? And when I say that I do this, these are the weekly goals that you have for yourself. So if you're in the middle of a 10-week transformation, let's say your goal is to work out 4 times a week for an hour. Let's say your goal is to eat 10 healthy lunches and dinners. And let's say another goal is that you're going to have 5 alcoholic drinks this week. And so the pills are like, okay, how am I going to get the workouts in? What am I going to do to make sure I get the workouts in? What am I going to make sure I do to get the 10 meals in? What am I going to do to make sure I only have 5 alcoholic drinks this week, right? Because so many of us, those things aren't rocket science, but they're easier said than done. And we've probably told ourselves to do them in the past, but because of a lack of preparation and intentionality, we've not been able to hit those goals and hit those marks. And so these questions help you do that. So the first one is, what could I do that would increase the likelihood that I do this? And so let's take them one by one. Let's start with working out 4 times a week for an hour. You know, if you ask yourself, like you're somebody you're taking care of, what could you do to increase the likelihood that you work out 4 times a week for an hour? And then you start to think about it. Well, like, I probably need to get a good night's sleep, because let's say the workout's in the morning. I probably need to get a good night's sleep. And let's say if I'm working out at 6 and I need to wake up at 5:30, then I want to get 8 hours of sleep. So let's backtrack it then. What time do I need to get to bed to get 8 hours of sleep if I'm waking up at 5:30? Okay, I'm going to go to bed by 9:30. And so that's the pill. Your pill is that I am going to go to sleep by 9:30 p.m. on the nights before I work out. That will increase the likelihood that you get your workouts in. Question number 2. If I were to get to the end of the week and I was unsuccessful with this goal, why would that be? Again, if I were to get to the end of the week and I was unsuccessful with this goal, why would that be? There's so much utility around this idea of almost like seeing yourself as being unsuccessful, because then you can, on the front end, identify the reasons why. You can identify the obstacles that will hold you back, because they're probably obstacles that have held you back in the past. So let's think about it. Okay, if I were to get to the end of the week and I was unsuccessful with this, why would that be? Let's think about the second one. Maybe 10 healthy lunches and dinners each week. And so that's 5, essentially, days of the week you have healthy lunches and dinners. But let's say that you have a Wednesday night party to go to, or a Wednesday night dinner to go to, a gathering, and you're planning to have a healthy meal on Wednesday, but you're not exactly sure what they're going to have at that party or at that gathering, at that get-together. You can take control of the situation of your meal by saying that I'm going to have dinner before I go, so that I'm not relying on somebody else for me to help me achieve my goals. So I'm going to have dinner before I leave for the party on Wednesday night, so that I have that healthy dinner on Wednesday. So many times, if we can just try to identify on the front end what our excuses might be, because we know ourselves pretty well. We know ourselves well enough to know the excuses that we've made in the past, and largely the excuses that we've made in the past will be the excuses that we have the ability or will be likely to make in the future. So if you can start to identify some of those things on the front end, then you can start to game plan against them. So that second question is critical. If I were to get to the end of the week and I was unsuccessful with this goal, why would that be? Third question, what could I do to make this easier? What could I do to make this easier? For example, something a lot of people do is lay out their workout clothes the night before. That way when they get up, they could put it on and get going right away. One of my favorite pills that I've ever had somebody have is they were making sure that they got in their protein after their workout and a healthy breakfast after the workout. And so what they would do is before they left for the workout, they would put out all their smoothie stuff. They'd put out the blender. They'd put out the stuff that they were going to put in it that didn't need to be refrigerated. That way when they came back, it was really easy to make. And it was actually easier to make the smoothie than it was to just put all the stuff away, right? Because you don't want to walk in and put all the stuff away without having used it and make the smoothie. So how can you make it easier on yourself to do? Same thing with lunch and dinner. How can you make it easier on yourself? Well, maybe you can meal prep. Maybe you can set yourself up for success on Sunday by doing a lot of meal prep and cutting up your vegetables and maybe cooking your protein. Do whatever you got to do. Third question is, what can I do to make this easier? And then you have a bonus question, number 4. What could I do to make this more fun? You know, I think oftentimes we think of health and fitness tasks as something that's a pain in the butt to do, and oftentimes they might be, but there times might be opportunities for you to make it more fun for yourself. You know, if you're planning on going to work out just by yourself, then you can make it more fun by inviting a friend to come work out with you. I've had people who wanted to drink less alcohol, and so they were holding themselves accountable to drinking water in between every single drink of alcohol, or every single drink of alcohol that they had. And so what they do is they would tally on their arm. They brought a Sharpie and they would tally on their arm for every single watermark that they made, therefore like making it fun to track. And so there are ways, if you get creative, to make doing these difficult things more fun if you ask yourself the question and if you plan ahead. So again, 4 questions now to ask yourself to help plan out your week and set yourself up for success. Number 1, what could I do that would increase the likelihood that I do this? Number 2, if I were to get to the end of the week and I was unsuccessful with this goal, why would that be? Number 3, what could I do to make this easier? Number 4, what could I do to make this more fun? Planning out your pills like this, the 4-step in the 10WT framework, is one of the things that sets this program apart. There's a lot of different things that set the 10-week transformation apart, but this sets it apart because so many people don't take the time to decide how they're going to spend their time. They don't spend the time to figure out how to set themselves up for success, so that when challenges and obstacles come, it becomes very hard to overcome them. So planning out your week is absolutely critical. Preparation, preparation, preparation. I like to say that the level of the specificity of your preparation determines the consistency of your execution. The specificity of your preparation determines the consistency of your execution. If you don't prepare and you're not specific with your preparation, don't expect yourself to follow through very well. If you do prepare at a high level with a lot of specificity, then you're going to be able to expect yourself to consistently execute. I hope you guys enjoyed today. One of the things that I'm now offering to only 8 people, and there's only 5 spots left. So 8 people, 3 gone, 5 left, a free call. You guys, I want to make sure that you start off 2023 on the right foot. I want to make sure that you have a great strategy. I want to help you first define your goal, but then help really develop your strategy, develop your weekly goals, develop your progress indicators so that if you do them, they will indicate to you that you're making progress to your goals. Like if you think that you kind of know what to do, but you want somebody to tell you what to do, then this is what's great about this free call is I can help you identify for you. I think you need to only have 3 desserts a week, maybe because sweets is a problem for you. If you drink a lot of alcohol, we can help make an alcohol goal. If you struggle with lunches, then we can help make a lunch goal. If you struggle with working out, we can help figure out what that should look like. So if you want to book a free call with me, go to nickcarrier.com/free call. Again, nickcarrier.com/free call. There's limited spots available, and this is for a limited time only. So make sure you hop on it. nickcarrier.com/free call. Other than that, I hope the information here allows you to get closer to your health and fitness goals and ultimately helps you get closer and closer to your best you.